when you meet people.
Yeah.
Roll.
Hi，又係我啦，Vicky 去講故事。
耶！我就佢老友 John Bucks。
今次咧，我請埋我老友，因為我哋幾個咧今晚喺度追月，咁啊 John 就唔食薯卡，係我同阿 Chris 食。
係啊，我喺度受苦，佢哋食緊時間。
咁既然咁講咧，其實我同阿 John 咧，其實我就幫咗一間公司嘅，咁啊，其實我哋咧係啊，咁我因為阿 John 咧係講英文，咁啊 starting from now I speak in English. Hello John.
Hey Ricky.
John is my deputy CEO on my new company. It's culture and media. And
Yeah, we're very excited to have this new business going on.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
one of our purpose is to teach people what they should learn. And I consider how to get trust from a stranger within a short time is the most difficult task in the world. John, do you agree?
Yeah, I think that's really important. It's not only when you meet a stranger, gaining people's trust. It's so important that you do it even with your family, with your children, with your wife, your students, your clients when you come across. Gaining people's trust is the very first step of interpersonal skill or communication. Because, I also teach boxing. So when a boxer puts up his guard, he puts up his guard to block punches. So when a stranger meets each other, automatically their guards are up. So if you want to influence them or have a good discussion with them or gain their trust, you have to somehow, with words, get their guard down so that you can get into the mind, to get a meeting of the minds. Because with no meeting of the minds, there is no trust. In a big society, especially in a big city like Hong Kong, everybody is very suspicious. They're too busy. They're suspicious. They just want to keep to themselves. They only have very little personal time that they can use. So it's to take their time is very difficult for them. They rather not give anyone time. So, but in business or in family relationships or in any situation where there are two people intermingling, you need to get their time. So how do you get trust? I think the very first thing is that you must befriend them. You must keep things light. You must know, for example, if you know a little bit about them, their nickname, their names, how to get through to them. Get friendly. But before you even know their name and so on, I think it's very, very important is to, if you know you are seeing somebody, then you should find out a little bit about that person. What do they do? What kind of people, what kind of person they're like? What do their friends say about them? So the very first thing is you need to dress appropriately that will be comfortable to their eye. That's a hidden thing. If they see that comfort, I think their guard goes down a little bit. And then the words that you use, not by you talking a lot, but the reverse. You ask the right question so that they can talk. When they speak, they build more confidence, and you have already earned some points, some brownie points. You have gained some trust. What do you think so far, Ricky? Am I right?
Yeah.
Since you can do mind reading?
Yeah. In actual fact, in my career working for the ICC, I met stranger every day. My stranger come from the witness, the suspect, and those we want to get information from them. So they all my stranger, first time meeting. So how to break the ice? In actual fact, John forget to mention one thing. Who start the talking first will be the winner. John? Yeah?
Yes.
So I tell you what we have been taught by Pentecost, the former director of MI5. He said, you need to start talking. So he asked us, whenever a witness come, whenever you interrogate a suspect, or whenever you see someone who can supply information to you, so how to gain what we call the battleground is you need to speak first. So Pentecost said it is a dilemma. Sometimes when you say a wrong thing, you ruin the whole interview. So Pentecost taught us whenever someone come, you offer them a cup of coffee or offer them a cup of tea. So nobody would be provoked, or nobody would refuse. So everybody come to ICAC, we offer them, today is quite cold and you get up so early. How about to have a cup of coffee? Do you want a cup of coffee? Do you want sugar, milk? Then we start the interview. We are the winner.
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Second time, in my experience, everybody, like John said, wear a mask or a helmet to protect themselves. So a stranger and our officer, in between is an iron glass. How to break it? Just like John said, you need to gain their trust. How to gain their trust? You cannot talk to them, Mr. Lee, what are you about today? Mr. Lee, what? It's not good, no good, just like stranger. So John is right. We need to do some research. What is their nickname and what people like to talk to them.
Yes.
Just like John, he had a big belly, and then I call, 大肚腩, big belly. How about you? And then we will feel that we already become a friend. So our distance already drawn. So the ice already break.
Yeah.
So we can infringe their area. You know,
Yeah.
everybody had an area to protect. So how you can infringe the area? The first.
Yeah, you got to find
Is-
something in common.
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
And then you need to speak first, and then
Yes,
offer
yes.
them a cup of coffee.
Yes.
So now it become a slang. You know, everybody afraid. 廉署 coffee, ICC coffee. Everybody said, when people invite you to 廉署 to have a cup of coffee, you must in trouble.
trouble,
Yeah.
yes.
But our initial thought is not that. The thought is like John had pointed out to me earlier, not in this video. He said, the first one who speaks first is the winner.
Yes, and speaking first gives the direction of the discussion.
Yeah.
It's a topic. It's something
Yeah.
that we can relate to.
Yeah.
For example, I think Ricky brought up a very important point.
Yeah.
Finding something in common.
Yeah.
He said 大肚腩, but that's not that good. Something in common. But if I talk to a person who's bald, for example,
Yeah.
大家都光頭佬.
Yeah.
So we will say, hey, you know what? We have the same hairdresser. where do you go?
光頭佬,
Yeah.
光頭佬,
Yeah.
光頭佬.
So
They call their name 光頭佬.
光頭佬. So you call yourself 光頭佬, and then you kind of broken the ice, right? Now, so another point that I mentioned earlier, that you have to dress, if you have time to prepare, you need to find out what they like. If they like sports a lot, mostly they're going to be dressed in casual. So if you go in your three-piece suit, you know, tuxedo, waistcoat, bow tie,
Not in the
you're
not in
going
the
to-
scenario.
yeah.
Not in the scenario.
You, it's harder to break the ice, right?
Yeah.
So if you know that they are casual people and they like sports, you kind of dress like the way they would be dressing.
Yeah.
And I think one of the key items, there are two physical things that you need to do. And I think the very most important in gaining trust is your eye contact.
Oh yeah. Very important.
When you
Yeah.
look at the person's eye,
Yeah.
something happens. You know, they say the eye is the mirror of the soul, right?
agree.
It's really, in fact, it's true.
agree.
You think about dating your wife, your girlfriend,
Yeah.
in the beginning. It's the eye contact. When you get anywhere close, it's the eye contact that starts the bonding, right?
Yeah.
So the eye contact is so very important. And the second thing, and this is something that Ricky has, and he does very well at, it's a natural thing, and I think for me too, in a little way. In sales, which my last 40 years was in the sales career, they taught me no matter how tough the situation, always show your teeth.
Smiling.
Always have that smile.
Smiling.
Even though the customer may be rude,
Yeah.
okay, or too aggressive, but the smile can break the ice. It helps. And the eye contact also helps break the ice. So these are two physical things
Yeah.
that is important. I think the third is distance. So when you are sitting together, so for example, if I'm sitting with Ricky right now next to each other, if I get too close in the very beginning, he might feel, ooh, his defense, his guard
right.
goes up.
That's right.
So, but if I go too far back,
Yeah.
then the warmth is not there. Even our eye contact will not be as good.
Yeah.
So we need to distance ourselves somewhere in between where it's warm but
Yeah.
not penetrating
Yeah.
their area. So that's three parts here. About body language that can help a person a lot in gaining trust
Yeah.
or breaking the ice,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, John, you miss a point. And I think if you want to get somebody's trust, you need to express to him that this is not getting advantage from him.
Yes.
This, we sit together and solve the problem,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then secondly, John said is very true. The sitting position, close or what, in our psychology terms, is very, very influential. I got a case in which I sit up and
Higher,
defendant
taller?
here. And then the man make a confession. And the video showed that I sit here instead of sitting equal,
Equal,
right?
yes, yes.
So that means I'm a superior
Yes,
position.
you want authority.
And I'm in authority. So my cousin's interview had been thrown out because I intimidate the defendant
Yes.
by sitting up.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
So later, we design is our interview table is
Round.
dimensional, and then we sit, and then never our sit are equal. We sit in the first one,
Yes.
and then that is a very important signal.
Yes.
If you sit higher, give them some intimidating position, then you ruin the interview.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And I think interview is not a single direction. You know, you just go there. We need in 中文互動we move together.
Participation.
Put
yeah, yeah,
participation.
yeah.
Yeah. And you need to give the other person
Yes.
a thing that you're not taking advantage by interviewing him.
Yes.
You just find a solution to help the people. Once you get their trust, then everything easy.
Exactly. Yeah. Once you get the trust, 50% of the battle is won. So I think for today's session, we will stop right there. Summarize three key points. Dress appropriately, eye contact, smile, distance, proper distance. Four key areas that will help you gain trust. Have a good day.
Okay. See you.
Good night.